What are you staring at, Ganef?
I don't know what that means.
Quit squealing. First time in the big city? Have some respect if you don't know who you're running your mouth at. He's one of them that went after the Ruskies with his bare fists.
I showed a couple of Russian soldiers when I think about the partitions.
I have moments like that sometimes.
And I gave it to some Ruskies in the kisser, too. There's this red-bearded fella sitting there. I glassed him in the face, then kicked him in the bean, and wham! On the floor. And I pinched his billfold, too.
Did anybody ask you? Shut your damn trap. Well, are you from somebody?
What about you, guys?
Sonny, I've still been running the protection racket with Crook at the Ruzhitsky Bazaar. My dad used to work for him. But that was back in the day. Apart from that, I stay straight. I only hassle the Ruskies when I get a little loaded.
And I'm with the Shivs.
Bullshit. You ain't with the Shivs. Don't you go talking crap about the Shivs, cause I know them. You better give a fuller explanation, cause I lose respect real quick. I'm sensitive about folks like that. Who you from?
I don't really get what you're asking.
Good thing you're asking and not just running your mouth, like some people. The question is, do you got a backer in town? You set up with somebody? Do you work for somebody?
My name's Wiktor Szulski, and I work on my own behalf.
All right, respect.
First of all, I am a Thaumaturge.
Now them I got respect for. I know one really decent Jew from Povishla who's a wizard too.
How about you? You got a foreskin or what?
Is my foreskin any of your fucking business?
Well, no. I was just...
Schmuck. But you don't look like much of a Warsaw lad.
You should not judge a book by its cover.
A tough guy, like a real Warsaw lad.
I was born here. Now I've come home.
Welcome to Warsaw.
I wouldn't call you a master strategist.
You got away from the station, so theoretically, we achieved our goal.
You're not losing your sense of humor. I guess this isn't your first time in a place like this, is it?
You'd better tell me if you managed to get rid of your ammunition.
If I hadn't, I'd already be locked up at the Citadel. I admit your behavior did successfully distract the Ruskies.
You're welcome.
All right then. What's such a gorgeous, hairy mug doing in a crummy place like this?
We've got a little time to kill. Maybe now you can tell me more about yourself. You seem to know your way around this setting. You been here often?
I'll take that as a compliment. And sure, sometimes, if the cause demands it.
What cause?
Let's say I know certain folks who'd find poles like you useful.
Dealers in stolen Dutch pomade?
Donut connoisseurs. They met at Burke Rotblitz's cafe.
What exactly do your friends do?
I'd be glad to tell you, over coffee and jam donuts.
I'm afraid all these crews might have more questions and want to keep you here longer.
Then you won't just miss out on the pastries, but also an adventure worthy of a great cause.
Szulski!
I see you won't be hanging out here long either.
Szulski, this yours?
That's right.
Then take it and get out of here.
Can I ask why the sudden change of plans? Anyone I should thank?
If he wants to, he'll tell you himself.
Thank you.
I'm sure you don't remember me. My name's Hayat, Mordecai Hayat. I wanted to offer my condolences.
Thank you.
Please, forgive my prying. I know Mr. Szulski took nitroglycerin for his heart, but how did he pass away? Was that his cause of death? His heart?
We've ruled out any coronary causes since the doctors couldn't confirm whether the deceased had a heart.
Yes, I understand. My condolences, once again. I'll leave you alone. I'm sure you want to bid farewell to your father.
I think I ought to arrest you, Thaumaturge.
I haven't done anything, officer. What's the problem?
I barely recognize you either. You still haven't figured out who I am? Don't be surprised. The last time we saw one another was 20 kilos ago.
Uncle Voronian?
I will not keep you. The guy's probably all alone back there, among those vultures circling Stasio. I'm sure she'll be glad to see you. Go on. We'll talk later.
Sister?
Wiktor! I'm so glad you came. I wasn't sure if my telegram had reached you.
I'm glad too. How are you holding up?
All this caught me off guard, but... For now, I don't have time to think things through calmly. Look at yourself. What happened?
This? It's nothing. You should see the nun who did it to me.
Wiktor!
I'm perfectly fine. We've got more important things to discuss. It's not worth worrying about. Have you written to Mother?
Yes, but what can you expect? You know what Nadia is like. It was never her style to show up for family events like this. It's getting late, and we've still got the reading of Papa's will ahead of us at home. And I'll leave you two alone. I suppose you've got your own matters to clear up.
Fine, let's get this over with. So, it was me who got it right in the end. Back then, on the train platform, was the last time we saw one another. 15 years ago. After brief suffering, fell asleep in the Lord. Brief? I hope not. Did you write this yourself? A tyrant, bigot, and liar, mistakenly absolved, died after suffering all too briefly. That's better, and definitely closer to the truth. The day you died, you visited me in my dreams. I was a child when you hounded me out of here, and I remember you as you were back then. But in my dream you looked older. You gave me hell as usual. You didn't believe I'd succeed. You were wrong. I've come back with 2 salutors. I'm sorry there are so many things I didn't get to say to your face. All those years, I said them over and over to myself in my head. How you were never able to admit a mistake. You never sought blame in yourself. Someone else was always guilty, never you. Mother because she wanted something for herself in life. Ligia because she wasn't born a boy. Me because I was born a Thaumaturge, but I didn't want to live following your principles. And now... Farewell, Father.
Am I intruding?
I was reflecting at the grave of my beloved father.
You tricked me. I heard something else. Stanisław and I were acquainted. You might say I knew everything about your father. Mr. Wiktor Szulski, isn't it? Your absence from Warsaw has happily come to an end, I hope.
With all due respect, this is my personal business. It was my father who knew you, not me.
True. Please forgive me. I meant no harm. Again, my condolences.
I didn't catch your name.
My name's Kanieczkin. Ivan Kanieczkin. Goodbye.
Such interesting friends you had. I guess I'm more tired than I thought. Great-grandmother Josefina, a Thaumaturge. Grandpa and you call him a Thaumaturge. I barely remember him. We can go. The hardest thing was getting the lid of the urn. The scattering I could handle.
You can play the clown, but I know how much this has cost you. I'm glad you went.
Love at a funeral. Eros post-mortem. Is it suitable for a young lady in mourning to fraternize with bachelors? Konstancja Szabłowska, the Warsaw Courier. Could I ask for a brief comment?
Hyena.
Thank you. And you, sir?
I suggest you leave. Otherwise, I'll overlook your womanhood and make sure you can never pronounce a single syllable correctly again.
You'd permit that to happen, Judge? Maybe I should write about this.
And who would let you print it?
Someday the press will get the Russian boot off its neck, Judge.
I'm afraid none of us will live to see the day, my dear. Come on, children. I'm sure my Petya is already waiting for us at home.
I'd love to see my cousin.
Are you coming with us?
Thanks.
Get in. I'm sure the lawyer is already waiting for us.
Miss, your guests have arrived. The lawyer's upstairs too, waiting. A trifle jittery. Wonder if the tea I made him was too strong.
Thank you, Grażyna, dear. Let the guests wait. First, I want to take care of the will.
I'll just wet my whistle and join you all upstairs.
Make sure Uncle makes it upstairs sober. And I'll suggest you don't dawdle either.
Master Wiktor, good God! Half your face covered, but I could tell right away it was you. You look just like your father in his youth. Completely his spitting image. Should I make you some cocoa, Master? It would warm you up a little.
Make an extra creamy one for Ligia.
Oh, I won't skimp on her. Now, your sister's putting a brave face on all this, but she's really having a hard time. It's lovely to see you again. But that's enough jabber for now. I've got the guests and the cocoa, and I've got to whip up some food for you all later. We'll talk soon.
Oh, I'm glad you...
So... but...
Now,
I suppose.
good luck. How did it go? Mission accomplished?
I think this is the one Uncle wanted.
Yes. This is our little funeral battle. We would meet in Stasia's study after every funeral we went to, and raised a toast to the dead. And recently, we've been seeing one another more and more at such events. More and more. But this time, even he has left me. So, to an easy death, as Stasia and I used to say.
How did he die?
Hasn't Lygia told you?
I haven't even had the chance to ask.
He didn't suffer, but such images in the memory are better saved for later. I'd prefer to remember him as he was alive. What then? Am I drinking alone?
May the ground be soft, Father. I'm not betting there's an afterlife.
Well, obligation fulfilled. Shall we get to the reading of the will?
At the funeral, there was this sad Jewish fellow, Mordechai Hayat. Do you know him, Uncle?
He worked for Stanisław, but that was a long time ago. I don't know him more than that. So, shall we collect our inheritance?
You'll all have to wait for me a moment yet.
All right, but hurry up.
I am ready, Mr. Szulski. I only need all of you to be present.
Can we start reading your father's will?
Yes, let his will be done. Again.
Let's begin if everyone is ready. Would you all please take a seat? Ladies and gentlemen, by the power of my office vested in me by the grace of His Imperial Majesty, the Emperor of all Russia, I hereby testify. Mr. Szulski's last will and testament were prepared several years ago in the presence of Zaslav Fedorov, Esquire, that is, myself. My last will and testament recorded in the year of our Lord 1888. In the name of the Holy Trinity. Amen.
Excuse me, but could we get to the details?
Wiktor!
I think we all want to address more temporal matters, don't we?
In theory...
Would you be so kind?
Of course. Here we are. All movables and immovables relating to the family enterprise I entrust to the care and administration of my daughter. I do not prescribe a method of administering them. I merely offer her one piece of advice. To my brother-in-law and oldest friend, Alexander Voronin, I wish to leave the following. My collection of muskets and 2 revolvers, dating to the uprising in memory of our first meeting.
Stasio, I will have plenty to do in my retirement.
Enjoy your retirement. Now, Mr. Fedorov, what did my father leave my mother?
Wiktor, be serious.
Nothing. There is a special item reflecting the absolute lack of any bequest to my former spouse, Nadia Fyodorovna Voronina.
I wish you success with your business and your hunting. I'm going to have something to eat before heading off.
Just a moment yet, Mr. Szulski. Your name is also mentioned here.
A last-minute plot twist.
I would also like to come to the aid of my only son, Wiktor Szulski, by entrusting him with the use of my personal black grimoire, in the hope that he will be able to make good use of it. This is my last will and testament. Carry it out solemnly, though you may have found it burdensome. However, this last bequest poses a certain problem.
Yes, it certainly does. And what is that, may I ask?
I am not in possession of this grimoire. The late Mr. Szulski used it up until his death, yet no one left it with me after his passing.
Meaning it's disappeared? Did father have his grimoire on him at the time of his death?
It was only because of the grimoire that we could identify him at all.
What actually happened? How did he die?
A building collapsed on top of him. I don't know any other way of putting it.
A building? It collapsed on top of him? How? How did this happen?
It was a day like any other. Papa had gone for his habitual walk. Every Tuesday and Thursday, he'd take a stroll to get some space, as he put it. When he didn't come back for a long time, I got the bad feeling something had happened. Then...
We rode there together. An entire wall of a tenement had collapsed. There were 3 victims, including Stasio. who had the bad luck to simply be walking by. To see him there in that condition, it's beyond description.
The grimoire. Could someone have taken it?
Perhaps, in all that confusion.
But why would anyone want Papa's grimoire? An ordinary person won't use it. Would the Thaumaturge just happen to be passing by?
Father had all his knowledge in there, but I don't know if it would be useful to someone other than him. I don't even know why he left it to me.
I'm sure Stasio had a reason.
Where did it happen? Where was this building?
The southern part of Śródmieście, not far from the police station. Anyway, you can miss it.
So that's where it is. I've seen this place. I'd rather not imagine what condition you found Father in there.
Of all the possibilities, this was the death that fate prepared for him.
He died as he lived, miserably. He couldn't have met a more fitting end after what he did to me. What he did to the Niedzic's family.
You've got to know that Papa felt guilty, even if he didn't say so outright. I'm not going to defend him, but I can't criticize him either. Even I don't know what really happened back then with Aborice.
An accident is what happened, and Father treated two kids like the worst disgraces in the world. As if it had been premeditated.
When a person dies so suddenly, their unfinished business remains. We'll never learn what Stasio carried in his heart.
What do you intend to do?
And where are Father's things at the moment?
You're standing at the very center of his kingdom. Not everything has been sorted through yet, but you go right ahead.
And the store? I should check that too.
I've started stock-taking there to distract myself, and I don't want you to go in there before I've finished.
As you wish. I think we have to look for the answer in the place where it happened.
With your sight, you can make out more in those ruins than I, or Uncle, or Detective could. This is a good lead, but is it the only one?
Father evidently knew a certain Ivan Konieczkin. Have you heard anything about him?
Konieczkin? No, doesn't ring a bell.
All sorts of people came to Papa's store. That doesn't mean every one of them might know something about the grimoire.
That's true. You've got your work cut out for you.
And Mordechai Chayat. Could that be a lead?
I don't think so. He worked with Father, but he left more than a year ago. I don't know why. He was an assistant at my store.
Do you know where I might find him?
Sadly, no.
Do you have any other ideas?
Now at least I can see how little I know. Maybe these scraps of information will lead me somewhere.
Well, now that we know what's got to be figured out, forgive me, my darlings. I'm going to give my old bones a rest.
I'll see you out.
Goodbye, Uncle. And, Ligia. I'm sorry it happened this way. That I wasn't close by.
The most important thing is you're here now.
How do you find our old stomping ground? Yes, I'm not too fond of this place either. This is where I had my last conversation with my father, just before I left. If you can call it a conversation. Can you see my dreams? Nightmares, actually. Ever since I decided to come back, I keep reliving the same memory. The loan shark incident. I've been seeing his death more and more lately. I wonder if the shop is still there. Perhaps we should go there and check. Hello?
I talk here? Do you hear me now? Wiktor? Wiktor, are you there?
Grigori? Yes.
Wiktor, where are you?
On the other end of the line, at home, where the telephone rang.
Incredible.
Has something happened?
To me? No. I am telecommunicating with you to say I found lodgings here in Warsaw. If you need me, I'm by the cemetery. What number is it? Yes. 7 Powoskoska Street. Number 7 by cemetery. Powoskoska.
I'm glad. It's good to hear your voice.
It's good to hear you as well. Goodbye. I want to end now. What do I... like this? Wonderful device. Remarkable. Hello? Oh, and now?
Have you found anything yet about the grimoire? Is there any way I can help?
In Father's study, I found a trace of a woman that I couldn't identify.
Probably Svetlana Rumyantseva.
Who is she? And what did Father have to do with her?
Svetlana is a Russian aristocrat who travels with the Romanovs' court. I can only tell you she was a customer of Father's.
A customer? If you don't want to say, then don't. Where can I find her?
When she's in town, she stays at the Imperial Hotel.
She might know something that will help me find the grimoire.
Not so fast. To get in, you're going to need me and my connections. Svetlana is famous for her soirees where she hosts the crème de la crème of Warsaw. We could go together. How about you track down some evening clothes and I'll sort out the invitation? And I won't take no for an answer.
Sadly, you never give me a chance. Unfortunately, everything in my wardrobe is antediluvian. I need a tailor.
There's a shop at 11 Pruzhna Street that's fairly decent and quick. We also have barbers in Warsaw in case you want to do something about whatever you have growing on your head and face.
Morana, hello. Let's see what brought you here. I felt something. Where is it?
Move a little to the left, will you? You are blocking my view.
What are you doing here? Drawing an illustration for a newspaper?
For myself, as a local artist. I'm Kajetan.
Do you specialize in still lifes?
Yes, you might say that. Here in Powiśle nothing interesting's ever happened. But there you go. Murders with an artistic twist. Very inspiring material.
Powiśle doesn't seem like a pleasant place to live.
Is life itself pleasant? I don't think so. Even those mutilated bodies, they have no eyes. As if the murderer tried to say there's nothing to see here.
So you're saying that nothing matters?
Exactly. Once, misfortune brought me to this river. I wanted to end my life. But the river wouldn't have me and threw me back on the bank. I decided to stay around.
What exactly do you paint?
Dead bodies.
Someone might say the dead deserve respect.
I'm saying that both life and death are meaningless. You are blocking my view.
I'll go now.
Please, step back. This is a crime scene.
I can see that. Am I wrong, or does the deceased have no eyes?
Yeah, no eyes, all right. And why would there be? He's the fisherman's sixth victim.
Hey, Rogulski, cut the chit-chat. And you, 3 steps back. Go on.
Is the fisherman some local criminal?
Get out of here while I'm still asking nicely.
Easy, I'm going now. I don't want to bother you.
Just what I need. A fucking throng of onlookers.
What is this foolishness? Open this gate!
Right. No one can keep us from entering the cemetery. It's a free country. Well, how long are you going to keep wagging your chins? If it's closed, it's closed! Oh, Mr. Szulski, finally.
I read your message. What is it about?
I won't talk about it out here in front of these boors. Come inside.
You're letting him in, Gravedigger? What the hell is going on?
Shut your mouths or I won't open till Judgment Day. This is about your father, you know.
All right, let's see what this is about.
Bah!
What did my father do this time?
I've got 2 pieces of news, so to speak. There's bad news, and I'm not sure what the other one is. Which do you want to hear first?
Tell me the bad news.
Today some rebel-rousers came here and started making trouble. They ravaged your family tomb.
What do you mean, ravaged?
I couldn't believe it either. I sent you a note immediately.
What about the other news?
One night, I went out and saw the dead lying around. But not in their places, you know? In the pathways. And then I saw their graves dug up, as if the dead crept right out of the ground.
And these bodies are still lying here?
No, of course not. You can't do that. But if you want to learn more about the case, they might come out again tomorrow night. People are starting to talk about resurrections and the end of the world. Resurrections and now these maniacs! Judgment Day seems to be upon us, you know?
According to my knowledge, dead bodies don't rise on their own. Were there any witnesses? Any noise at night? Traces?
Nothing. Just the stiffs in odd places.
Those vandals that ravaged the tomb, what did they look like?
I closed the gate because they're still hanging around there. Why don't you see for yourself, you know?
Goodbye.
Get rid of this scum at once.
There's something odd nearby. There's something odd nearby. There's something odd nearby.
Hey, Valush, look what they got dragged in.
God damn. Are you the ones disturbing the dead and strewing the bodies all over the graveyard?
No, not that. We are professionals. We've got the troublemaker here. I bet he'll call the Undertaker. That's too bad.
The gravedigger will be surprised to see all this looting.
Fuck, I knew Thursday would be no good.
Don't be a sissy. It'll be all over soon. I'll take the coat. I'll take the clodhoppers.
Darn it. Look at him.
I think he's a real, temperamencer.
I'll show you how you talk to magicians. Are you so eager to die, Tempermancer?
And who are you, anyway?
We're the ones who purge the world from scum like you.
I'm a bit sorry now. But I think you will be too, in a moment.
You heard him. He asked for it.
Let's take a look around.
So, Mr. Szulski, you gave those lads by the tomb a good belting, huh? I could hear the echoes.
Thank you, but they weren't too keen to talk, and I have a few questions to ask.
Maybe I could help, you know?
It's a rather grim job you've got here.
Well, you know. I'd rather do this than struggle with drunkards in a bar or bolts in a factory. The dead are calm and predictable, you know? Unless they start rising from the grave, that is.
What is the WAS? Those fellas at the mausoleum were connected with it.
Ah, the Warsaw Anti-Thaumaturge Society. Loonies, you know? Ever since your father was laid to rest here, they've been yelling their heads off by the walls.
Where can I find their bosses? You know?
Why? Do you smell blood? There's one behind the cemetery wall inciting the crowd. Ask him. Once you have cleaned up near the mausoleum, I can open the gate.
Goodbye.
Good luck with the WAS, you know? Let me know when you get rid of them. So, Mr. Szulski.
I searched the area. Grave robbers are more of a separate issue, but I learned something about the rising corpses.
I'm dying of curiosity. Do you understand?
It seems that the corpses are helped in their wanderings by someone who knows the cemetery well and keeps their tools here.
Hold on. My hands are clean.
And is frustrated by how little you pay him.
Lech? He's my assistant. Are you saying he's involved in this?
Yes. Where can I find him?
And he probably drinks with those friends of his own in Green Square. That louse. If you meet him, tell him he's fired.
Goodbye.
Good.
Which one of you is Lech?
I am. What's your business?
Digging at the cemetery at night. I know you're the one digging up bodies from graves. Valush and his crew are also friends of yours?
What? I have no idea who you're talking about. Maybe he's drunk. It's some lunatic. We have no choice, fellas. He's asking for a beating. Virgin, save me! What do you want from me?
Why do you disturb the dead? Aren't you ashamed?
I won't do it again, really. But it wasn't my idea, I swear. They told me to. And as for Valush and his people, they're tight with the carpenter. He builds coffins in the nearby yard.
Who told you to do it?
Oh, this one guy. Konieczny. Włodzimierz Konieczny. The head of this whole WAS.
Where can I find the WAS office?
You need to walk down from the cemetery. 10 Młynarska Tylna Street.
People won't find out who defaced the graves of their loved ones on one condition.
Thank you. God, thank you. What do you need?
I need you to tell me something. Why did Włodzimierz make you dig up the corpses?
Well, the way I see it, he wanted to scare people. And it worked, didn't it?
I think I need to have a chat with Włodzimierz.
Oh, since you're going there, can you tell him I'm still waiting for the money? He said he'd get it from membership fees, so he can't say he doesn't have any.
Have you been feeling tired lately?
Yes!
Have your wives been hysterical? Your chickens getting sick? Milk going sour for no reason?
Yes!
That's all caused by tempermancy. Curses, black magic, evil energy.
That's enough. This nonsense is making my ears bleed. Are you the one giving orders to the WAS?
Look who's here. A magician temperomancer. The enemy of humankind.
The ruiner of good fun and the vanquisher of children's smiles. I'll ask again, who is in charge of this circus?
The President told us what you are. If you want to ask him about something in person, have a look at the brochure like the others. You know how to read, right?
You'd better get out of here while I'm still in good mood. It's not too late to get sane.
Look, the magician is threatening us. They want to silence us. You can't bewitch us all.
Demon, devil, let's get him sorted. I can feel my milk going sour at home.
Come on, brothers. Let's put him in his place. Afterwards, pop into our headquarters for some coffee and pastries.
Fill out forms A1, B, and D12, pay the entry fee.
Hey, he's a magician!
Who's the head of this shithouse?
I am. Włodzimierz Konieczny, chairman of the Warsaw Anti-Thaumaturge Society. And you are either extremely insolent or stupid to come here, Tempermancer.
My papa liked the word temperamenza. He was very hopeful it would catch on in Polish. I'd love to see his face right now.
Can you get to the point?
I have come here to settle the score with the vampires and fanatics. And I don't see any vampires here.
Noble candidates, your initiation is about to commence. Grab the magician.
We won't let you down.
That's enough, demon. You've proved to everyone that you're a menace to humankind.
Even a small kitten may scratch when provoked.
See? He's already messing with our minds. That demagogue is turning everything on its head. Cover your ears so that he doesn't poison your minds. Do you want to keep lying? All you skeptics, look! Have you seen this Thaumaturge? I have witnesses!
Mr. Konieczny, you're our hero. Down with Thaumaturge.